Hi everyone, Sue Pito here at Polka Arts, and this is the last workshop in the series for Friends of Milton Creek. Hopefully next time I see you might be real life, and we're continuing with the theme of recycling and reusing rubbish around the house. Really, we're going to be doing some decoupage now. I have been, not that I've been drinking a lot, by the way, but we're covering wine bottles today. There's a couple I've done here earlier. And you can also do the thing with everything. So these are jam jars. I've also got a bit carried away, and I found these. This is something I found before lockdown, and I covered it. I've also just picked up some discs of wood, and I've been making coasters, so you can cover anything. I've found this nice old box and made it look even older with so yeah, we're gonna do the wine bottles, and as I said, the process you can use on anything: furniture, chest of drawers, bottles, any objects, walls. So yes, we're going to start now. Okay, I'm just going to run through some of the materials that you'll need: a wine bottle, or any bottle, or jam jar. You need some, these are really good brushes. They're very cheap, they're hog hair, and you can get them off the internet. I think somewhere like Wilkinson's might sell them, but these are really good brushes because they take a lot of abuse. PVA. Now I'm actually using Builder's PVA. This is Evo stick one. I'm only using this because it's a bit thicker than normal children's PVA, but that's just my preference. I've also been collecting loads of old bits of material, not bits of paper. So I have, because of this, they're going to look quite old, I've chosen the colours brown. I've got some music, bits of old book here that I've just ripped up a bit. The paper, loads of it, because from Amazon and any internet stuff that you buy tends to come wrapped in a bit brown paper, and that's lovely. So yeah, I rip it up and I keep it in a bag. So sometimes I use a bit of tissue paper as well. But the other thing that is really that you will need to do decoupage is some images. Now I have found all of these free on the internet. If you do a search for decoupage free images, you can find loads of things. Now the things I've got here, I've got a blue set and I've got roses, flowers. I like flowers a lot. So what I've done is I've printed some off on my little printer here, and you see, they're really lovely. So you can get loads, you can choose whatever you like. And the other things that, just to add, I've got a little label here. You might want some string. This is just to finish them off, or a little bit of lace. See, I don't know if you can see these ones. They've finished, the lighter colour I finished with lace, but these are all options. So right, yeah, we don't need scissors because I tend to rip everything. So I'm just going to tear the edges of this part. Doesn't matter, I didn't around here. Now, so you've got images, put that out of the way. Same with these. It's much nicer if you tear them. You get a much softer image than cutting them with scissors. So these are a bit more complicated, but it's actually lovely. It's the cheaper paper, if you just use copier, that's actually really good. Decoupaging is better with thinner paper. It's a bit harder the thicker paper you use, the harder it is to stick. I found tissue paper a bit too thin, if I'm honest, because it tears. But copy of paper, old books and things. So can you see what I'm doing? I've actually ripped the edges for this. Sorry, I'll just quickly finish doing that. Right, so that's fine. Now then, so I'm going to take the lid off, whoops, my bottle, and then I'm going to cover lots of PVA. Now the great thing about the builder's PVA, or the thicker ones, is that it doesn't drip like children's PVA. So I find it's not so messy. And then you just really don't think about it, just randomly put your paper on. Lots of glue, especially the edges, and do it over. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And I'm using these paintbrushes to actually push it on. So in theory, you shouldn't get it over yourself. I can't help, I can't resist, I still do. Yeah, get a bit of music, paper, and just stick that on. And I do tend to, you can put a bit on the paper, do it how you feel more comfortable, and just cover here. You don't actually have to do the base. Don't want to. The shape of the bottle is a bit harder. One of the tricks is, let's find a nice piece of, right, is either, if you're going to do, you could rip it slightly before you put it in. That way it will bend to, it says, you see, it will bend round the bottle easier. I can't help it. I do use my hands quite a lot for this. But don't worry if it's a bit wrinkly either, because I always think it adds to, find some nice bits of brown paper. I don't put too many small bits on if I can help it, because it's quite nice to, you'll see why. And just, right, what I'm really is pushing it really hard on. Now, that is the trick with decoupage, is you must make sure that it's really, really stuck. And I am really using the paintbrush to push in the paper on. Okay? That is lovely. If you do get air bubbles, just rub it really hard and you'll find they all come out. You can see, right? Now, when I've done quite a bit of the bottle, you can take some of your printed images that you've done, put lots of glue on these. I'm actually gluing the piece of paper, but I'm also glued the bottle as well. See, around here. And then I'm just going to stick that in here. Alright. I'm not really thinking where I'm placing them. I'm just doing it. It's quite therapeutic, really. This, you see? And if you're doing it indoors on a winter's day, put it near the radiator. They dry really quick, to be honest. I did some of the other ones on a beautiful hot summer day, and they dried really beautifully outside. So, yeah, so just carry on and cover your bottle. So I will show you this one I did earlier. It's just book, brown paper, ripped up and stuck on with some printed flowers. And of course the PVA gives it a really nice hard wearing finish as well. So I did a lighter one because I'm going to age them. So this one's going to be really old looking and this one's going to be like more whiter looking. I'm going to show you how to do that next. To age them, I'm taking, this is some brown paint. I'll just take a little bit on my paintbrush. See, I do everything quite dry. It's dry painting. I don't tend to use a lot of paint, and especially on the white areas of the paper, I'm just going to rub very gently some brown paint on them. Now this takes away the whiteness on the paper. Don't put too much on because you're not painting it brown. You see, that's a bit too much. Just want to discolour them. So with how good that's coming out, but it stops you seeing the whiteness of the paper. I'll just yeah, I'm a bit, can be quite brutal with this. Sponging, you could use the sponge on this as well if you want. And you see, oh, sorry, where am I? It's difficult, but it's already taken off. I don't know if it shows up properly in the light here, but it takes off the whiteness of the paper. And that's all you're doing on this. So right, so you do that on the this one's going to be the older bottle, like brown, very brown. Now the other thing you can do if you have these are all options. I've got a tiny bit of gold here, and what I'm going to do, oops, too much. You need a tiny bit of gold, and the other thing you can do is just dust it with some streaks of gold. This just makes it shimmer a bit. I don't think it's going to come out brilliant here because of the light in the garden, but it is a lovely effect. It just gives it that little bit of luster, I think it's called. So that's the brown one. I'm sure if you're doing it with family, you're bound to have a bit of brown, some watercolour paints. Any paints will do. We use acrylics here a lot. Right, so that's the brown one. Now the same applies to the white one. So if you're doing it with white, I think I might need a tiny bit of, but this time you see, we're actually making the brown a bit lighter, going over it. It's funny that actually this makes them look old as well, in a different way. So I'm just aging them, gives them that dusty impression there. Now the other thing that I have with the white is, again, it's this is actually called pearl lusters, I think they are, and that gives it that really nice shimmer to them as well. It's a shame they're not coming out properly, but it does look really nice. It's pearlescence on them. So yeah, I'm doing that. That's my robin, but I have to tell you, this is not my original robin that came down before. This is their baby, and now we have the baby in the garden that comes down and feeds. So that's wonderful. You can hear them in the background. Anyway, sorry, I love being out here with them. Right, in a way we're nearly finished. Okay, so we have covered our bottles with bits of old paper and a few nice bits of decoupage. We've coloured them depending on whether you want the white aged or the brown aged. And the thing, just to finish it off, is the lids. Now on the brown one, sorry, I'm trying to show you, I've actually, oh, I didn't realise this was a cork. This one, I've put string on. So I've PVA'd string along the top of the lid and the top of the bottle. And on the white one, I've put lace. What I did on the lace one is I put a little piece of decoupage rose on the top, and I took a little bit of lace. I'm going to show you just quickly. So this is a bit tricky, and this is probably the messiest bit. Is put PVA on the lid. And you take some lace, and you have to stick it on like this. It's as easy as that, but you do have to hold it for a little bit to make sure that it sticks. That's why I like the thicker PVA as well. That works really nicely. Put loads on. You can have real fun doing the string. Right, so that's the lace. Okay. The other nice thing you could do, I've put lace around the base of this, just to finish it. So again, put loads of PVA on here, and you can stick the lace. It's up to you. Oh, I forgot. It's up to you if you do the bottom. Nobody sees it, so it doesn't really matter. Right, so that's the lace on the bottom. The string is a little bit harder to do. You really have to make sure you hold it on, but I really like the string effect. It's my favourite. I love this jute string, which is garden string. So if you have a glue gun, that is really easy to do. But otherwise, just put loads of PVA on, just hold it for a little while until you can do this. All right. So the very last thing is I've got luggage labels, and they make lovely gifts. So you could always write who it's to, or just put it on your bottle. So let's use this one. You see? So it's just like that. I actually changed the string on mine, and I do have rubber stamps. So I printed like a little pattern on it, and I've got polka dot arts, and I changed the string that came with it. So right, and lastly, whenever you do decoupage, to protect it is varnish. Right, so after you've actually stuck it, the trick is to varnish it again, and then varnish it again. I've done chairs and pieces of furniture, and it's really important that you varnish a lot. And there's 2 lots of varnish that we use here. I'm not talking about brand names, but Wilkinson's quick drying varnish is excellent. It's great for indoors. It's water based, and it's actually clear. It doesn't colour, so I've used it on the white ones. I think because varnish colours everything, To age the other ones, we've used, well, I have here is the Santoline. Although it says clear, it definitely is not clear. It's very yellow, and it actually, you can see the difference. This one has not been varnished, where this one has, and the colour is really a lot different. So be careful with varnish. Okay, I'm just warning you. I'd test it first before you even use it. If you're using anything with white and it's not going outside, I would really recommend the Wilkinson's varnish. It's very hard wearing, and as I said, it doesn't colour. It's a very creamy base, but it dries clear, where most varnishes will slightly give you yellow tinges. Right, and actually that's it. I really hope you've enjoyed the workshops that we've been doing here at Polka Arts, and we wish you a safe and happy life. And as I said, maybe we will see you around one day. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Bye.